fresh from his performance in the Argus tour. It's actually on MoneyWeb right now. It's your 20th Argus,
My
David.
20th, yeah.
Russell, David, you haven't done the Argus before, have you?
No, I don't.
You're a runner.
ride.
You'd run
I
faster than most of these guys, right?
especially against the wind. Yeah.
But why are we down on the JSE today when other markets seem to be rather more stable?
We had a very strong run on Friday. There was a late surge on Friday, and it might have been a reversal of that. I'm not quite sure. Our resources were down quite sharply. Anglo's Bulletin, which were up on Friday, had a good run, came back quite sharply. Although some gold shares were up, but overall, it's I think we're just reversing some of Friday's good gains. And there's still a lot of nervousness in the market. I try to pick up the source of it. There was apparently Buffett had an interview on CNBC where he said that the U.S. economy is falling off a cliff and it's not going to turn on a dime. In other words, it's going to take some time to recover. So it's all that kind of sentiment that just keeps people away from picking up the bargains. You're not going to get cheaper valuations than you are now. But
well, maybe you will.
Maybe tomorrow. Sure.
Talking about falling off a cliff, the gold price from 9.40 at 3 o'clock this afternoon all the way down to 9.25.
I can't understand that as well. And I promise you, they can't complain from a publicity point of view, because the whole day today, Bloomberg's were just featuring gold. Wherever you picked up a magazine or something, people were talking about the safe haven status of gold. And yet it's not responding. It's hovering around 920. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley all came out saying that gold's going to be over $1,000 an ounce this year.
But were these not the same people who were saying that the oil price is going above 200? So perhaps there's a bit of counterintuitive investing there, Dave.
It could be, Alec. I don't know where the selling's coming from and why the gold price has kept
the smart
down,
money's probably selling. The smart money who was in at $300-400, probably getting out now. What do you make of Sasol falling 6% after its results today?
I think it was at the bottom end of analysts' forecasts. I think they were expecting higher earnings per share. High headline earnings per share. Also, the dividend naturally came down.
Cutting the dividend at a time when the profits are up 50%. Strange.
Well, I think they've got a lot of projects on the go, and as we heard from Brian Joffe the other evening, I think they're more worried about what the future's going to bring and about getting cash there than actually imparting with it now.
Well, we'll talk to Pat Davies about that a bit later. Quite interesting to see some of the results, and one that stands out for me was Iliad Africa today. You're on an earnings yield there of 27%, and you're getting a dividend of 8.2%. Granted, things are not looking that great for the building and construction sector where they're in, but they're holding their own, it seems, at the profit line.
Yeah, they are. I think maybe disappointment that there's no growth in earnings. But still, if you're going to buy a company like this who are going to maintain earnings, you're still going to get an 8% dividend yield at a time where interest rates are going to start coming down. So you have to start looking at ways to increase your cash flows.
David, both Sasol, if you were to take its last year's final dividend and the current dividend this year, and the JSE Limited, which has a full year's reporting, are on a dividend yield of 5.1%. Is that juicy enough for you?
It is, because you've also got to look at the quality of the companies. Are they quality companies? Are they going to hold their own in this kind of market? Of course they will. And that's where you've got to start looking for. You've got to look for the companies that are going to do, who are doing okay now. I mean, they're doing well. I think the JSE is still going to have a very good year. Maybe not as good as last year, but they'll still generate a lot of cash, still pay dividends.
Grand Parade came out with results. Good reaction, 15.5% improvement in that share price. And then Comair, have you noticed? It's been creeping up all the while. It's now over 2 rand. It's up another 14% today.
No,
what might it be causing that?
I don't know. Maybe just
lower oil price.
Maybe that the oil price has come down. I'm surprised, because I think that passenger numbers are still flat and probably falling. I still think people are conserving their, conserving cash. But look, again, it's a company that has an incredibly good history on the JSE. It's got a history of good profits.